The other question is that people ask that employment is not growing. I must admit that we do not have good data on employment. We have a decennial or a quinquennial survey, but that survey itself, the survey as such has no problems. But the data that come from that survey is of a type which does not throw, in my opinion, a clear light on the employment situation. But the point is, why is there is enough data to show in the organized sector for which employment is available, it is coming down. But employment, as far as India is concerned, is even more in the unorganized sector. So, one of the reasons for the decline in the job growth is growth in an economy can occur because of two things. One, because of new investment, and therefore growth is happening. And the other is a better utilization of existing capacity. Because if there had been overinvestment, many people say this, of the period from 2008-9 to the later period, that every project looked rosy, and therefore people went in. Therefore, there was a very high level of investment, and therefore, if that's why the saying in the banking system also, bad loans are sown in good times, because at that time everything looks rosy and every project is acceptable, and then when growth slows down, then the very projects which were viable at one point in time do not become viable. Anyway, to come back to the point, that when growth occurs because of a better utilization of capacity, the job addition is much less. Whereas when growth occurs as a consequence of new investments, then the job additions are much more. Second, if you look at the period from 2005 to 2005-6 to 2011-12, the two major sectors which have absorbed employment are the IT sector and the financial sector. The two sectors are now under structural changes. IT is progressing, but not the same way it was progressing during that particular period. And these are very visible for educated people who go into the labor market. The immense opportunities that were available in the IT sector and in the financial sector were very lucrative. Now, unfortunately, these two sectors, which contributed to much employment in that period, has not been happening. And that is why I'd say once again, as I mentioned earlier, the important thing to do is to bring about a higher investment ratio, and that is the only answer to